So I've been watching this Georgia Tech Vanderbilt game, and just to be upfront and honest with y'all, I'm watching it from two different perspectives. So one perspective is I'm a Hurricanes fan, so I hate the fact that Georgia Tech beat my Hurricanes, especially in the way that they did, playing keep away the whole game. I just didn't love that. And then I'm watching it from a perspective of being an ACC fan. I think our conference gets played. I think we get overlooked way too often. So it would behoove us all for an ACC team to beat an SEC school, right? Like, obviously. So I'm looking at it from both of those perspectives. I'd like an ACC school to win, but I also look at Georgia Tech as the team that beat my Hurricanes on like some keep away gimmicky type stuff. And I didn't like that. So two different perspectives. I'm a little torn on that. I'm just going to give my thoughts on this game because as I looked at the game, it was 35-13 in a rain delay, I believe it was. And Georgia Tech has no chance to come back, especially based on the way that they play. So I want to talk about two different things in this video. The first thing is I want to talk about how Georgia Tech looked in this game and just give my thoughts on them as a whole. And then I want to talk about something that I've spoken on this channel multiple times, which is how ACC schools perform against other big conference schools. All right, so first, let's talk about Georgia Tech. We've all heard the adage about a bully, right? We've heard the adage that if you punch a bully square in his nose, a lot of the times he'll go crying, running home to his parents. That is exactly what I saw Georgia Tech doing today. So if you've watched Georgia Tech play all season, what they hang their hat on is just being more physical than the other team. They play what I call peekaboo football, which is everybody runs in different directions. There's fake handoff here, fake handoff there. You don't know who's got the ball. Sometimes the quarterback will run the ball. Sometimes the receiver will get a handoff going this direction. Sometimes they'll fake it to the receiver and hand it to the running back that way. Like, you don't know who's got the ball. They just pride themselves on being more tough than the other team. They have no problem with running the ball 45 times and only passing it 12 times. They have no problem doing that. They've made their coach is real big on just being a bully and outmanning the other team. And when they play against a team like Georgia or a team like Miami, they pride themselves in playing keep away football, just winding the clock, run, 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 waste 40 seconds at a time. That's what they pride themselves on. Unfortunately for Georgia Tech, before this game even started, I was like, oh yeah, Georgia Tech is going to lose this game because this is the first time all season that they're going to get a taste of their own medicine. I watched Vanderbilt beat Alabama earlier this year, and I saw that tough little quarterback they got, and I said Georgia Tech has not played a team that has a quarterback who does not mind running the ball every play. They don't mind only passing the ball 10 times a game. They don't mind. They don't mind running the ball 45 to 50 times a game. They don't mind doing that, and they just play tough defense. So this is the first time Georgia Tech has played a team who does exactly what Georgia Tech likes to do. They got punched in their nose, and they were running home to their parents. Like, I saw them whining to the refs the entire game. I saw their players getting into little scuffles after the play and whining to the ref, asking for holding calls and whining to the refs, asking for personal foul calls the entire time. So I'm like, this is exactly what happens when the bully gets punched in their nose. This is exactly it. Um, Georgia Tech was not able to play keep away football this game because they knew that Vanderbilt had the same opportunity to play keep away football. Vanderbilt has the opportunity to run their quarterback right up the middle 4 or 5 times in a row, and that's a lot of what they did. Their Vanderbilt also had the opportunity to fake handoff here, fake handoff there, throw a deep pass down the middle of the field. They did that multiple times. So it was kind of sweet. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It was kind of sweet to see them get a taste of their own medicine, but I also hate the fact that the ACC is losing another bowl game. Does not make our conference look good. So let's talk about the second thing I want to talk about, which is just what I've spoken on many times on this channel, which is for whatever reason, ACC schools play way down when they play against schools outside of the conference. It happens time and time again. And I want to clarify again, I'm not saying, because I know a lot of folks are going to say, well, the ACC looks bad against other conferences because the ACC is not that good. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the shoot yourself in the foot time after time after time. Like the unforced errors. That happens when the ACC schools play against Big Ten schools. It happens when ACC schools play against SEC schools. It's just nonstop. It's crazy. Like I saw Georgia Tech line up on defense and totally not guard a wide receiver this game. Just totally didn't guard him. I saw Georgia Tech have a crazy unforced fumble that skipped down the field forward like 10 to 15 yards. I saw them have personal foul calls multiple times this game. It's just like they shoot themselves in the foot. So when I watched Georgia Tech play against Florida State, I watched them play against Georgia. I watched them play against Miami. I guess I'll throw Georgia out because they're in the SEC. But I watched Georgia Tech play Florida State and Miami. They played near perfect games both times, near perfect. I mean, one hand catches. If the quarterback is throwing the ball down the field, he's hitting the receivers in stride, perfect. And then I watch Georgia Tech today throw across the middle of the field directly to a safety who was just sitting there waiting on him to throw it. He was just daring him to throw it. Like, yeah, if you throw it, I'm going to pick this off and probably take it all the way to the end zone. And King threw it directly to him. I'm like, how did he not see that? If he was playing against Florida State, if he was playing against Miami, he never would have thrown that. Like, and then I watched them miss a snap. Like, Haynes King is back there waiting to get the snap from the center. The ball gets snapped to him, and he just fumbles it and then falls on it. I'm like, they never would have done that against top ACCs. Like, against Clemson, he never would have done that. So that's the stuff that frustrates me. It's not about doing things that the opposition's causing you to do. You know, like a blitz happens every now and again, and you just get caught off guard. So you may do something crazy. But these are times where there's no blitz. It's just missing wide open passes. But then when you play against Clemson, you're catching the ball one-handed. You know, false start penalties everywhere, offsides penalties everywhere, personal fouls. It's just stuff that it doesn't make sense. I noticed this when I watched Pitt play just yesterday. It's crazy. These teams are doing things that are so uncharacteristic against these other conferences. But when they play against their ACC opponents, they play lights out perfect football. I don't understand it. Maybe y'all can explain that to me. But I figured I'd make a quick video about that. There wasn't much to say about Vanderbilt. They did exactly what I expected them to do. That little quarterback they got, he can't throw the ball very well, but he is tough. So that's all that I got for you today. I appreciate you watching the video. I keep recording this on my phone, and I keep getting all kind of messages and stuff. But anyway, that's all that I got for you today. I appreciate you watching the video. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I truly appreciate that. So take care. God bless. Peace.